Hello, Lancy here, and we're doing tier lists, which I had inspired by Crandor, which I think, got inspired to do it by iDubbbz. I think it's iDubbbz. Anyways, the reason I'm doing this is because this month is full of nothing but doctor's appointments that I have to go with people, aka my parents, my grandmother, and there's one for my cat. This entire month. In fact, I have to leave in 3 hours for one of my parents. So, anyways, we're doing tier lists. I bookmarked several, which I may have to lift this thing up to get to my bookmarks. Anyways, this is purely my opinion, and you're entitled to yours. And the comments are sent approved, not to filter out people's opinions, but to filter out those who call me names, because believe it or not, there are some that call me names and they get denied and blocked. So feel free to put in the comments your opinions. I will approve it. Do not worry. Unless you're calling me names, then I won't approve it. Anyways, let's begin. And I'll try to tell my reasons. I'm never good at that. First one is Cataclysm, and I'm putting it on an S because I have nothing but very good memories of it. Playing with my brother. It was also technically the expansion I started since I had no memories of Wrath, because it was 2 weeks before this came out. Legion, it's kind of in the middle of A and B. I put in B. I had fun in it, except some of the classes they need to work on. Now I'll battle for Azeroth. I'll put in D because it's some things is good, but most of it's bad. The writing to me is awful. Classic I never played. I guess the ones I never played, I'll put them as a C because I have no opinion. C will be the no opinion because I never played row. Because if I put an F, people will probably be coming at me with pitchforks. Warlords, definite F. Moving on. Oh no, I'm just kidding. It's just, this is when the devs really went downhill. Let's just say that. Pandaria, I'll put it as an A. I actually have fun with it, even though my brother kind of didn't like it because it had pandas for some reason. Burning Crusade, I never played, so go on the line that means never played. Wrath, again, I don't have that many memories, so I'll put as A. I remember I had fun, but not that many memories. Anyways, this is my tier list, the expansions. And again, you're entitled to your own opinion about the expansions. Because I'm sure some of you might have Classic or Burning Crusade up here on the S, and Cat probably down here-ish. Hopefully not an F with Warlords. Like Crandor. Crandor put an F with Warlords. Like, really? And I'm sure this is probably up there with y'all. It really doesn't matter. Anyways, I'm going to pause so I can get the next one up. So we'll be right back. And we're back. Sorry if the window is in a different place. This is the classic classes tier, not classic. I think it's very new. Now I have played all classes almost to cap. Warriors at 114, Demon Hunters at 116, and Monk is at 118. The rest are in cap. And I rate them and how a noob like me sees them as. I'm sure you guys who main them and know what you're doing with them will rate them higher. Anyways, Demon Hunter, I would put it as a B. They're kind of squishy when I play them, but I know how to heal them by going demon mode, which I have a talent that makes me go demon when I use an I-beam. And what is this one? I think this one's Diff Knight. I'm going to put Diff Knight as a C. I love Frostback, but it's hard to fight in Frostback, especially when you're not sure which things you're supposed to do to make the attack that heals you trigger, where you can use it. Unholy's awesome. Blood, I don't know because I never played it. Druid. It kind of depends on what spec. It's like in between. I'll put a C. Because Feral is still not in a good spot. It's still weak as hell. Balance is okay. Guardian, can't tell you. And Restoration, I can't tell you. I don't tank, nor do I heal. I can only tell you about the DPS specs. And now Hunter, I will put as A. It also depends on spec. Survival is fun. Beast, Beast, whatever it's called, I forgot. Also, is also fun. You also get 2 pets if you get the talent. Plus, you get Hottie back, or Hattie, whatever you name it, call it. Was it Mark something? The third spec. I can't remember the specs off the top of my head. It's still not that grand. I think they messed something up with it. The only reason it's not an S is because depending on your pet, you will have to heal them constantly. Hell, mage. Oh, I'm gonna get so much hate. And I have a good reason to put on D. Unless you're fire or you're frost, you're gonna die. Well, in my hands, arcane is worthless. It is weak. And I love arcane spec, but Blizzard did something to make it extremely weak, and I wish the shield on the mages will last forever. Or absorb more and not break every 10 seconds when you pull a single mob. Now, monk. It's kind of like Demon Hunter. They're squishy, but I know how to heal them. And their mobility is awesome. I know most people hate monks, but I really don't mind them. I actually have fun playing as a monk. Now, Forgive me, I main one. I'm putting Paladin his ass. Don't worry, something else is going on S. And you probably will also yell at me. I love the Paladin class. I am good enough that I know how to kill things fast. They also can heal. Lay on hand is a beast. And they have a bubble. And I do not main a Zandalari paladin. I main a Draenei paladin. Which the the healing ratio is not very good. If you're wondering. And now priest. It is an A. Shadow has a lot of buttons. Discipline is good for DPSing stuff. I don't heal because I don't do dungeons anymore. I don't even raid anymore. I can't tell you about Holy, but I'm sure it's probably a good healing spec. I mean, when you die, you become an angel and you still can heal. Ha! There's also a glyph that turns your angel into a Valkyrie. Now, for Rogue, I'm going to have to put it as a D. I find them squishy, and as I am very heartbroken how bad assassination is in my hands. I cannot get my rogue to survive an assassination, so he's been outlaw ever since. Now, shaman. I have to put as an A. I find the melee spec. I get the two mixed up. This is enhancement that's melee. Awesome. And very powerful. Kills mobs very easily. Cannot tell you for this casting wing because I had to switch them out because they did something to make it a bad spec and warlords, and I've never been back to that spec since, and I cannot tell you about healing spec because I don't heal. Our warlock is going to go up there with paladin. Demonology, I'm glad they actually fixed Ian's stupidity on it. If you don't remember or have not been there in Warlords, Ian purposely nerfed demonology because he didn't want people playing on it. His words, not mine. So, it's actually better. I get to summon a bunch of demons. Even though I have to heal my demon a lot, it's still awesome. And warrior is also going on the S. Because I love charging in battle. I do have few walls and tanking spec, but I don't tank dungeons. They have very good survivability. And did I already say it's awesome? Anyways, that's my class tier list. I'm sorry if I offend you with mage and rogue being a bottom, or all the other specs that you probably main down here. But it's just my opinion. And I'm going to pause for the next tier. And the next tier, is the classic dungeons, which is more of cadet dungeons. I'm taking that as the dungeons and like if you're leveling through in quotation classic content. not, I don't classify these as the original. The names are kind of small and hard to read, but I would go with it. And I have gone through every single one of these dungeons. I only remember one. No, it's two. Hey, let me look at the names. It's four. Actually, I think I can remember Ragefire. There's five I remember before the cow revamp of them. Yeah, there's five before the cow revamp. And again, this is my opinion. You're entitled to your own. And you're more welcome to put them in the comment section. Unless you recall me names, it will be approved. Because everyone's entitled to their opinions. Anyways, Black Seven Depths. I put it as a C. Because I remember back before the whole dungeon thing and quests were in the dungeon, bosses were skipped, and you didn't get a lot of experience then and then. Black Rock Depths is definitely a D, far too long, and then if you get in a group, they will automatically go to the woman, which makes the dungeon complete, and they leave. And Dire Maw, I put it as a B. The only thing stopping is sometimes the group will wipe on the boss that fears you on that one hallway before the last boss, the king. And then someone always ninjas the ogre costume, or whatever you call it. Numergon is also a B. It's okay, but it's not my cup of tea. That makes sense. It's just, depending on the group, it can take forever, and which they will go all the long ways and don't want to jump down with the parachute. I see lower Blackrock Sparrow. I do not see upper. So I guess this is the I guess it is the revamp because I don't think upper exists anymore. Lower. I put it as a C. It's okay, but sometimes you get those groups that get lost. I should state that though I don't do dungeons anymore, I did them once. So just because I didn't do them anymore doesn't mean I haven't done any at all. And Murgaden, I'll put it as a B because it depends on the group that will go through the whole thing. It, like, I'm not joking. You start at one end of the dungeon and they will literally go through the entire thing. It's the same for Black Rock Depths. Sometimes you get groups that will start at the beginning and then they go through the entire long dungeon. When there for one specific part, please just stay in that one part. Ridgefire Cataclysm, I'll put as an A. I remember back in the original. Yeah, that Trog boss, and I always liked the Trogs for some reason. They're funny. And the revamped one is wonderful too. Now, the Razor Fins, I'm not sure. I think this one's the undead one, which is, I guess I'll put it as an A. I had no qualms with it. at all, and it was fast paced. There's the other razor fin. I think it's the one with the pigs. Which I put as a B. Is I don't know what's with people, but they will always try to jump down because I think they can skip everything when they jump down. Shalamonts. I remember the original Shalamonts, and I'm gonna put it as an S because I love Shalamonts, and including the original Shalamonts. Now, there was a lot of bosses in the original one. The revamped one is fine, but it's just awesome. And Shelfang Keep is also going there. I remember the original one too, and the revamped one. Though I did have a few groups that went up the building instead of going through and killing the chefs. And I think this is the entirety of Scarlet Monastery. I love Scarlet Monastery. It was fun. And it was awesome. I also remember if you did not pull the as in the church or chapel part, they would come after you when you aggro the boss. I also remember going back and killing the undead boss. And I remember I forgot what his title was. Oh, Secrets in Your Flesh. That's part of what he says. I remember that guy. Stockholm's is also nice. It's quick. It has Harker in it now. I do not remember what the original was like. But everyone has the love Harker, right? Stratholm will be an A. It does have a mount if you're lucky or have a lot of time and constantly running through it. But it's long because sometimes you get the groups that just want to go through and do the entire thing. Back then, when you could, I'm not sure if you still can. Sunken Temple. Sunken Temple. Back when there were trolls you had to kill. Hate it. I hate it when we had to go up and kill the trolls. I hate it when we had to go back down and kill everything else. And I think we went completely... I'm not sure if you went completely down. Somehow I remember we went completely down in the graded area. I don't remember. Or maybe it's a graded area somewhere else. But it was long back then and I didn't like it. Dim Mines is an all-time favorite, so it's going to S. And I remember the original one. Kind of miss the original one. No, I mean the revamp is still awesome, but I really want the original Dead Mines back. Odom, it's gonna go into D because if the tank or the healer or some DPS is not on the quest to kill the other bosses to get an item, guarantee them be skipped. Or if you have one of those that's like, we don't need them, just go to the end. Them Russian kinds. And Wayland Caverns is a C. It's kind of long because you have to go back and forth to get to the last boss. And it can be confusing to new players. Oh, frick. Up as a C too. It's an okay troll dungeon, but then you get someone or a group that doesn't do the Hydra, and you're shit out of luck for that one quest, and pray you get queue backed in if you do random queue. Yeah. Anyways, this is me listing off the classic dungeons. On to the next one. Okay, this is the semi-last one. You guys are gonna be moving for a little bit. Because it is recording my second part of the screen. There we go. This is the raid tier. This is semi-last tier I saved. And it has a lot more options. You have personal favorite S, A, B, C, D, F. Don't do SCC. I don't know what that is, so we're gonna ignore that bar and never run. And I don't know how far this goes. I think it's just Legion. No, it's BFA. Which I'm gonna put the BFAs on the never run portion. Because I don't even do LFR anymore. It's just too much of a bother. So if you see me skipping BFA and just putting it there, you know now. Now Tyrannus, I ran last boss on LFR. I want to score it low because this is when we had to say goodbye to Illidan, and Illidan's my favorite. I want to score it low. I'm going to score it a little bit higher than what I was going to put. I'm just going to put it as a D. And that's not because it's Elfar, it's because we had to say goodbye to Illidan during that. It was sad for me. My Illipoot's gone. And I just did the last boss. I don't know about the rest of the bosses. That's the only. So Illidan is the reason why it scored low. Baird Hold. I think that's the PvP area, isn't it? I think I ran that once with a friend. Baird Hold. It's until we're at, so yeah, I did ran that. I don't know what didn't do as CC. Oh, current character. Why would they have a bar like that? Baird Hold. I don't remember it. I guess it's okay. And again, I'm scoring low because it's in a PvP area, and PvP makes me panic a little. Bastion of Twilight. Can I use this as only soloed at max? Yeah, I'm gonna use this one as only soloed at max. Or maybe I can use that as a scoring guide. I don't know how hard these things are. I sold them. So forgive me if I don't know the pain and suffering you raiders did. But Bastion of Twilight, it was alright. I mean, I got to see Sinestra, which I read in a book. I have a bunch of WoW books. Don't judge me. And good Cho'Gall. It's awesome to see him fight him. Blackrock Foundry. thing is, I really don't like Warlord's Dungeons and Raids. I thought they were god awful. I mean, yeah, it was cool to see a black hand, and you could get his hammer, but it's meh at best. Tell me you guys didn't see this coming. I mean, it's Illidan. And yes, we killed him, but he came back. Plus, I'm still trying to get one of the Warglaives. Oh, my Demon Hunter. No, my Rogue and my Demon Hunter. I have one of them. I think it was the left one. I still need the right one. But come on, Illidan. Blackwing Descendant. I'm putting S for its humor. Did I say Descendant? I mean Descent. I love the humor in it. You could tell it was just a way to hold people over. Because it was never taken seriously by the devs. Blackwing Layer. I put as a C. Because I remember before it became an instant cast, I had to get my second. It was also the reason why I got a second account, is I had to boost someone with healing abilities to go through the first boss, because I wasn't pro enough to do it without him needing to heal. This is before it became instant cast. So it was. Crucible of Storms, I didn't do that. Dragon's Soul. But it's a B. I know it probably scored lower with you guys, but I had no issues with it other than Spine. I hate Spine. I hate soloing it just to get the Blaze Drake so I can get the Green Drake. I had to do it, and I'm only doing it on Paladins because that's the only class I know how to actually do it on. But other than that, it was fine. Emerald Nightmare. It was okay. I mean, we got to kill Xavius, that's something. But it's okay. I did it. I think I did all of them now far. Eye of Eternity. That's not Calthus Eye, is it? I wish they put Tempest Keep instead of Eye. Yeah. I had no qualms with it. I put it as an A because it was bugged a few times. I guess I killed the mobs too fast, I don't know. I couldn't kill Malagos, and for some reason it counted as a full raid run, so I couldn't run anymore. But you can get 2 mounts in it, which I have. They're blue drakes. One armored, one not. Firelance. I have a reason to see. I was in a raid team once, and then I saw how god awful they were at preparing. I, my brother, our friend, were the only ones who watched a video of the mechanics of all the boss mechanics, so we were in charge of telling everyone else. We got to the first boss, which was the hunter guy. We told the mechanics, and guess what? No one listened to us. We didn't kill one boss that one day because people were complaining it was too hard, and no one, and I put in quotations, no one knew the mechanics. Here, I, my brother, and our friend were just face palming at them because they were morons, and we told them how to do the first boss. And that's why it's ranked low. Because the raid team I was in didn't know how to do something. Plus, I don't like the fact that you have to kill all the bosses just to get to Staghelm and Ragnaros. Because I would love to skip the guy that you have to hit the foot first before you can actually kill him. And Girl's Lair. I mean, it was okay. It's a bit too short. I know I like short things, but it was a bit too short. Heart of Fear. The wind, man. The wind. I hate wind commandment. The wind mechanic. I built up one boss. Had the wind commandment. Hellfire Citadel. I hate it. Hate it. Hate it. I hate the first boss, especially when soloing. Actually, I gave up trying to get a transmog gear doing it because of the first boss. I'm all... Nah. I mean, these Warlords raids were just meh. They weren't very eventful. I'm playing this as a never finished raid. So I don't know how to run it, the Battle of Mount Hyjal, without bugging it out. Ice Crown Citadel. I pose an S. I mean, you can get invisible in there if you're on a Rogue 25. Though it's long, it's memorable. Karazhan. I'll pose an A. It ranks a little low because of the chess game, and I wish we could skip the chess game. Because they're in Slayer. I'll pose a D. Far too short. Yishon Volts. C. I mean, it's nice to hear Pandaren or Mughal history, but when you run it enough times, you basically want to tell the little walker to shut up and get on with it. Molten Core. I'll put as an A. I did run it during the anniversary. I do have the core hound for that. I don't have to get out the Black Auction House, which if you want it, you have to get through that. It was so funny seeing all the veterans rage at people who died, calling it easy. When they haven't realized that not everyone played during Classic. But it was really funny. I did not wipe at any of the bosses. I came close to it, but I didn't. But it was fun. Exramus. Yeah, I'll put as an A. Sadrius is kind of bad when you're all for a parkour to get to. I think that's his name. The robot guy with a bunch of voices you hear echoing throughout the chamber. Nighthold, never run that. Because unless Godan is in that, if it's, I'll look it up. If Godan is in that one, then I've ran the last boss. Which I couldn't do the third phase on him, yeah. I didn't run it. I couldn't do the third phase on him, so he's going to D because it was laggy. Actually, I'm gonna bump it up to C because Illidan came back to life during that, and I'm all about that Illidan. See Insectum. I put it a D because you can get 2 mouths from it, but it's not. It's like too short. Nixia layer. I put it a C. And yes, that means Dragon Soul is kind of above all these. I'm sorry. I know there's some nostalgic factor with Nixia's lair, and yes, I did get the mount. You can get the mount. But selling it, she's just a big pushover. Ruby Sectum, I put it a D because it's not very important. Actually, should put it as an F. It's not important at all. You get, like, nothing from it, I think. Runes of Heck. AQ. I'm just gonna call it AQ. Is the other one in here? Yeah, Temple is. That is the Cthulhu wannabe guy in there, right? Not Cthulhu. No god. No, it's the outside one. Okay. This is the outside one. I barely run that. So I put it a D. Because it's not important. Cavern, Serpent, Shrine Cavern, I'll just put it a B. I wish there was a way not to do the core thing with Levash. And if you need to get the middle boss in that one hallway, you have to go through every single mob to get to it. You try your best to avoid them, but for some reason they aggro onto you, even though you're not even close to them. Siege of Orgrimmar. I mean, I had fun with Siege of Orgrimmar. The only bad part was, I forgot his name. When you just go down to the Rage Fire, the boss guarding the door, I almost got kicked for, in quotation, low DPS. Even though I was the 15th highest one out of 20 people. And they want to kicked me for low DPS. If they want to kick me, they could have kicked the rest. Which they were kicking the rest, actually. I mean, we knew the mechanics. We were doing the mechanics, but we wiped. Because I think... Yeah, actually it's true. One of the tanks pissed off the healers, and the healers weren't wanting to heal, but they blamed it on DPS. That's what happened. And that's why all the low 15 and below were going to get kicked. For some reason. But we did make it through, and I did do it entire thing on LFR. With an almost kick because one of the tanks is a moron who pissed the healers off, which you should never do. Do not piss your healer off. They are your lifeline. Sunwell Plateau is a personal favorite. I love it. There's no... I don't... Kil'jaeden's not my favorite, but I just love Blood Elf areas. Temple... Garage... I'll put it as an A. I enjoy going through it. I always skip the slime guy because I don't know how to do him properly. But I quite enjoy it. Plus, they got almost all the tier sets in there, which I'm not doing the plate ones because the plate ones are ugly. And the Terrence Finless Springs, I'll put it as a C. It was not grand. It was a bit of a pain. And the I am going to put it as a personal favorite too, because Kalthus is also another favorite of mine. I love the character, but not as much as I do the Illidan. I also got the mount in there. Shona for Winds, which I actually did it at last once. It does have a mount. I'm going to put it as B, because first time I did it, I was helping a new player and wanted to Drake, which it did not drop for them. It didn't drop for me. And I had no idea how to get to the front of us because I never run it. And it took us so long to figure out, oh, there's a big giant tornado to take you to the middle and one of the other platforms where the guy is not still resurrecting himself. Rune of Thunder, it's alright. Could be better. Hate the wind mechanic and avoiding the things on the bridge, the trolls. Temple of Sargeras. I did not run that. I saw no point to it, to be honest. Trial of Crusader. It could be better. Let's just say that. Trial of Valor. What is that? Oh, it's the one with Odin in it. I mean, it was okay. Just okay. Udyr, never run it. Udawar, I'll put it as a B. I did finally get the achievement to get the two pro drakes. But when you have to run it constantly to get one piece because they put all the loot sets together, it becomes a bit of a hassle. And Vote of Thing, I'm going to put it here. Ran it a few times because a new player I've been helping wants the mammoth. PP areas kind of make me panic. I know I'm not over that. Every time I had to fly him there when it's horde controlled, because he's a horde. My hand and mouse keeps doing this number because I'm trying not to get ganked with both of us. Anyways, this is me raiding the raids. Sorry I haven't run any of the BFA ones. And I find the Warlord ones shit. But that's just my opinion. Anyways, to the last one. Welcome to the race one. I have played every single race. There are multiples here. We are only going to use one. And I will not only, I will judge by racials if I ever use them, but most of it is appearance sake. First off, Coulterians, I mean. Sorry, I'm putting it as a D. No offense to big boned people, but they cannot make big boned females look strong at all. And for some reason they're tall. How in the world are they tall? They're just humans with guts. Speaking of humans, the haymakers, okay, Rachel, so common. They're so bloody common. Actually, I should put in D because the racial that hang on, cat. The racial that grinds six lets you get a bit more rep is okay. Sorry, cat in a way is wonderful. Only if you're a human. I mean, a Draenei. So it's not that wonderful. Dwarf I will put as a B. I like dwarfs. But not as much as night elves. Oh, the dwarf racial is okay-ish. I really don't use it that much, if at all. I use the night elf one a lot. Shadowmeld, it's awesome. Especially when you pull too much or for some reason someone pulls up too much, they die and they suddenly go after you even though you didn't hit them. Because I'm a fan of elves, but I'd rather not have high elves. I'm one of those anti-high elf people. Sorry if you're for high elves, I just don't see a point in having the same elf skin that's used on void and blood elves for another third one. It becomes a bit old. Gnomes I put as a C. I don't use the ratio, I probably should. But I can't get a melee class as a gnome because I really can't see due to their small size. Draenei is obviously going on the A because I main one and I think they're cool. Oregon is currently going on B. Mainly because their models desperately need an update, especially the female ones, and I wish the model update came in the next patch and not the patch afterwards if they remembered to put it in the patch. The female organs look like angry chihuahuas. Like, seriously. I love void elves. I don't see why people hate them, which I think most of them are probably high elven people just to hate on void elves because they're the reason they can't get high elves anymore. Because we technically have high elves on the Alliance. Just with a different name, they did used to be high elves. And I find them wonderful. They're absolutely wonderful. And Lightforge I also like because they're Draenei that follow the light. The horn designs for the females are wonderful. Dark Iron Doors, I'll put as B. Because they're dwarves. And hey, flaming beard. Who doesn't like a flaming beard? And let's see if we can find one that we didn't put up. Zendalari. They're okay. I just saw the dance they gave the raptor and the bounce spec bird. They're The Spec bird dance. It's not even a dance. It's just tapping her or his foot. Stupid. Just stupid. But they do have dinos. That's why they're up a little bit. I love dinos. Bandaran are going to a sea. The only qualm I have against is having to go through the whole zone to choose the side. They kind of needs to be like. Wish they had it like with the Ally race. They're automatically at level 20, and when you create one, it'll pop up saying which side is your parent Pandarian want to go with, Alliance or Horde. It gives you what the Hordes and Alliance description and that. I wish they did that. It would have been awesome. And see if we can not find a duplicate. Orcs. Meh. I mean, they're okay, but on some servers they're common. So common. And they do have a good ratio, but Torns, they're okay. They make the mounts a bit too big. And sometimes they can't fit into doorways. I don't like Forsaken. Well, I like them a little, but not that much. And that prospect's kind of been ruined by some of the form goers who are Forsaken. Which, forgive me, because they kissed Sylvanas' boots. I guess because she has boobs or something. Who knows what's going through their minds. And trolls, they're okay too. They have a good ratio, I think, but I don't play them much. You know I'm gonna put blood elves there. I have more blood elves than anything. Trust me. The three most common races I have are Night Elves, Blood Elves, and Draenei. And that ratio did get nerfed, but I never used it, so. Goblin is going down there because I hate their starting zone. It is so long. It is so long. Plus, something's wrong with their eyes. Thankfully, they fixed that with their model update. Mountain Taurens are okay. And forgive me for putting it up here, but the brown orcs is something I wanted for a very long time and finally got as an allied race, which I race changed my orc hunter to because I've been RPing her as a brown skinned orc from Outland. Also, Nightborn is gone on top. May Renus rest in peace. I wish we could give him a fruit to save his life, but we can't. Let me make sure I didn't miss anyone. Okay, we didn't miss anyone. And this has been the last tier. Sorry if I offended you if your race is on the bottom. But hey, no one made it to the F rank. I mean, there's no actual race I hate. The ones on the bottom I like a little, but not much. And anyways, this has been the NC. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much with these tier lists. Signing